What's up YouTube? It's your girl AK and we are back with another video. I apologize for being just away. I haven't really showed much videos last week. I've been apartment shopping, right? I've been trying to get my life together. I'm in the moving process. It is stressful, I'm sorry, but I'm here today, okay? I'm here to give my market analysis on gold, GJ, as well as Nas100. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Boom, right? The market just opened not too long ago, right? I am currently actually in a gold position right now. So this is gold on what is the 8 hour? This is the daily time frame, as you can see, and we are currently in a buy position on gold. So I want to break down gold real quick, kind of explain why I'm in buys right now and like what I saw and like how you could potentially get back into gold as well. So let's jump down to, first let's just look at gold overall, right? So gold on the weekly, as you can see, we are bullish, right? This was our last swing low, right? We broke up, made a swing high. Price came down to retest this structure, and then we are currently in the continuation phase. So we are currently pushing up to make new highs on the weekly. Daily looks about the same, right? So basically my daily swing low was here. Here's my swing high price. We came down and we wicked it, right? So I remember a couple weeks ago, I actually gave my analysis and people were saying, oh, Autumn, it broke the daily low. No, it did not break the low. It wicked it, right? We came down, we swept this low. But this candle body, if I zoom in, right? This candle body did not close below this candle body, meaning my daily is still bullish, y'all. So overall, my weekly is bullish, my daily is bullish, long-term bias is still bullish, right? So I knew long-term that we are still buying on gold. It was just a matter of when, right? We had some choppiness for a couple weeks, but overall, if you really pay attention to price, notice how, and I'm gonna really let me delete this for a second, or just hide this. Notice how our support constantly got higher and higher and higher, right? Look at this 4 hour support right here. Right here, we came down, right? This is our first support. We pushed up, right? Had some sellers, we sell, right? But right here, this low failed to what? It failed to break this low, creating a potential higher low, right? Then what happened? Okay, we pushed up again, right? We made pretty much equal highs at this point, right? There is a strong level right here of sellers that is stopping price from breaking up, right? But again, price, when we came down, this support is still higher than what? This support, right? Okay, so what made me actually get into sales? Let me show you. So right here, as you can see, there was a point where when price fell from this level, right? Actually, at one point, I thought we were gonna switch bearish, and here's why. Because right here, when we came down, we actually failed to break this high. So I started marking up these resistance levels, right? These 4 hour resistance levels. And I was just looking to see if we were potentially going to sell lower. We even kind of broke a little bit below this low, still the same area, but you can see this body, candle body closed below this candle body. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we might be selling instead. So I even was like looking to see if we were looking to complete this fib, right? But I noticed something like interesting, right? Y'all know that I like to look at structure, right? Well, check this out. Check this out. Price, we came down. I was expecting price to basically have a retracement around this area, and you know, if we were looking to sell, we would have, you know, we would have started falling at this point. But price didn't do that, right? Price never broke below after getting to this retracement level, right? Price actually decided to what? We started creating some support right here. There was buyers right here that did not want price to go down. In fact, right here, I thought this was gonna be another potential resistance level, like right here, right? I thought this would be another potential resistance level, as you can see, right? But price did what? We actually created support right here, right? And then we started to break above. Now, one thing I always say, right? I always pay attention to a shifting market, like, and you kind of see it right here. Right here, as you can see, we had a potential start of a downtrend, but look what happened. Let me show y'all. We were making a lower low, right? Lower high, lower low. At this point, we would expect to make a, you know, a lower low, but right here we failed to make a lower low, and then what happened? We broke structure. What did I say about what happens when you break structure, right? When you break structure, because our structure is right here, this was our resistance level, right? When you're in a downtrend, you're only supposed to make lower lows and lower highs. Right here, we are breaking a high. Breaking a high is only a characteristic of what? An uptrend, right? So when I saw this break of structure, I was like, okay, well, obviously we are about to start shifting into a bullish market. And why am I so confident in this? Well, I just said what? I just said that my weekly is bullish, right? And my daily is also bullish, right? So if my weekly is bullish and my daily is bullish and my 4 hour just did what? My 4 hour just switched to a bullish market. What does that tell me? That tells me that the correction is over, right? And we are ready to make new higher highs. So that is why I entered when I saw this shift of structure on the 4 hour. I also see that we are breaking a very strong 4 hour level of resistance. When you break high time frame support levels or resistance levels, price is gonna fly, right? Anytime you break a 4 hour level, expect price to explode, right? If you also trade like candlestick patterns, this was just a extending triangle, right? If you really pay attention, look right here. Here's the resistance, right? Here's where price is trying to get to. If you trade candlestick patterns, you can see, okay, well right here, this is just a ascending triangle, right? So you could look at the market any way you want to. You could look at structure, you could look at patterns. It's all the same thing, right? Either way, we know that when this pattern breaks out, we expect a big push. So I am targeting this level up here, right? Here is liquidity right here. I do expect price to get here at some point, make new all-time highs. My second TP is this 27 extension on the daily, and then my third TP is going to be this psychological level 6,000, right? So those are my TP levels. If you're looking to potentially get in, right, I will wait for price to basically give you some kind of correction. So price is going to basically continue to push up, right? But at some point we can't just shoot up forever, right? Like price is not going to do that. Price is going to shoot up, it's going to come back, it's going to give us a correction. Once the correction is over, you're going to look for price to go back to the upside, and that is going to be your potential entry. And what is our targets? I just said it. Targets are liquidity, right? That's first target. 27 is the second target. Third target is our psychological level. If you want to hold longer, it's up to you, right? We know how gold likes to act, right? Another reason I'm so bullish on gold is just because of the fundamental news. So if you pay attention to what's going on in the world, there is a lot going on between the US and Iran and those particular conflicts. We know that when there is uncertainty in the world, right, people cling to gold, people treat gold as a safe haven, right? Anytime the value of the US dollar is going down, gold is a negative correlation, and it will go the opposite way, right? So there's a lot of fundamental reasons, also not just technical, of why I believe gold is going to go up. We also had the announcement of the president basically bringing more global tariffs and raising it up from 10% to 15%. So these are just things to keep in mind, right? When you trade gold, you have to also pay attention to fundamentals, because that will significantly affect it as well, right? Gold is very sensitive to fundamentals. So basically, if you're looking against gold, right, because we already broke this level, wait for some kind of correction. Price may not give you a full retest on this level, I'm not gonna lie. Gold is known to just fly sometimes. Sometimes when gold is really on a strong trend, it'll give you like a slight pullback, right? It may not always give you that retest, like that touch, and then it's going to continue up. So just pay attention to gold, right? Like pay attention to it. You may have to draw a Fibonacci retracement tool instead. You know, just pay attention to gold, wait for that correction, and then once you see that correction is over, that's when you can look to get in for gold. So here is GJ. I'm looking at another potential setup right here. Let me explain, right? So first and foremost, I am going to hide my drawings, and I just want to show y'all that like on the weekly, we are bearish, right? As you can see, we broke structure right here. So we had this great drop. On the daily, we were also bearish, right? This was our last swing low. We broke that swing low, right? Currently on the daily, I need y'all to understand that we are still bearish, right? Long term, we're still bearish, but we are in the need of a pullback right now, okay? So if you look on the daily, we had this big drop. Notice how these bearish candles are losing momentum, right? We are showing signs of exhaustion right here. Here we have signs of exhaustion. You see the bulls are starting to come back, right? The bears are kind of fighting, but the bulls are fighting back. Price needs some kind of pullback, right? It needs some kind of pullback. So that's essentially what I'm waiting for on the 4 hour, right? Currently, you can see, let me hide this for a second. Currently on the 4 hour, you can see that price is starting to shift back up, right? Before we were making lower lows, lower highs. Right here, you notice that price has actually failed to make a lower low. That is not the characteristics of a downtrend, or the characteristics of an uptrend, right? Uptrends, we make lower highs, right? Notice how we are starting to make lower highs and higher highs, right? Right here, oops, sorry guys. Right here, this was the last lower high before price made a new low, right? Right here, price tried to come up, but we kind of failed. But eventually we did end up breaking candle body closing above this level, making a new high. So basically I am looking at this particular range right here, right? I'm looking to see if price is looking to finish this potential correction and look to push back up. Once price is done with this potential pullback, I am looking to basically enter somewhere above this level when we break back above this level up here. So I am interested in buys temporarily, right? Not long term, because we are bearish on the daily and weekly. I'm only looking to buy back up to this previous level on the 4 hour where we previously sold. So if you look right here, this was the last area where we had a 4 hour break of structure. So price is just looking to come back and retest this level. Once we get this retest on this level, price is going to look to basically fall again and make that new lower low on the daily time frame. So that's what I'm waiting for, right? Just short-term buys, right? Nothing crazy. It may not even get all the way up here, so just keep that in mind. But I am looking to carefully trade this up. This is technically counter trend trading against the daily time frame, so please be careful if you are looking to counter trend trade. I don't recommend it for beginners at all. If you don't want to take it here, you can also wait for price to break above, then retest this level and then push up. You could take that as well. Just keep in mind though, when we break this 4 hour structure level, you might see a lot of momentum and price may fly up before it really gives you a nice pullback. So just keep that in mind, okay? But if you want to be safer and wait for us to break this resistance level, then you can wait for this break and retest as well. So, okay, my camera died. I got a new battery. We're good. I'm going to continue. Basically, that is what I'm looking for GJ. I'm looking for short-term buys until we get that big sell from this level, right? I want to wait for price to get to this level before selling. Why? Let me explain why. Because if you look, right, currently, GJ, we had this big drop, right? Had a big drop. Currently, we are in discount zone, right? So right here, this is our 50% level. This Fibonacci can show us basically where we are in the trend, right? In this range, we are below this 50% level, right? I do not want to sell in discount, right? Why? Because you were supposed to sell high and buy low, right? I want to sell when price returns back to premium levels. When we get to this level, we are now in premium levels, right? When price reaches premium levels, that is when I'm interested in selling, right? I want to sell high. I do not want to sell low at discount, right? That is risky. You need to understand where you are in the trend. So that is also why I'm waiting for this potential pullback. And I just want to try to make, catch a small move on the way back up. You do not have to take this counter trend trade, right? You can wait for the pullback and then sell with the rest of the trend. But me personally, I am going to trade the 4 hour back up. So it's completely up to you guys. It's completely up to y'all. But yeah, that is essentially what I'm waiting for on GJ. Okay, moving on to Nas100. Let me show y'all what I am currently looking at. I'm gonna hide my drawings. This is currently the daily time frame. So I need y'all to see something real quick. Daily time frame, we had structure here. We came down, we broke structure on the daily, right? Making this bearish, right? Now, check this out. Price, we came back, right? Had this pullback. Right here, we failed to take out this daily low, right? And we are starting to push back up to the upside. If I drop down to a 4 hour, I need y'all to understand this, right? Right here, as you can see, and I say this all the time, right? Right here, look at our resistance levels. We started here, our resistance levels were getting lower and lower and lower, right? We were not breaking resistance levels. We got to this point, what happened? What happened right here? Okay, price, we were making lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower low, lower high. We failed to make this low, but we still have this resistance level, and look how price is starting to shift and break above, right? We are breaking above these levels. We are starting to shift what? We're starting to shift bullish on the 4 hour, right? My 4 hour is technically bullish right now. So you can really play off of these levels, right? You can really play off these levels. Look what's happening right now. I want y'all to pay attention to the price right now, right? Price, we basically, on the 4 hour, we basically broke structure. So this is 4 hour structure. We basically broke it. We went bullish, right? Right here, this is our correction, right? Price was coming back to correct, you know, retest this area, and we just broke back above this level, y'all. This was the level where price previously sold from. We just broke back above this level, right? Technically, this is valid for buys right now. Technically, right? Now, this time, this is Sunday. It's currently 5:03 p.m. I don't recommend trading around this time at all. I'm just saying though, technically, this is a valid buy, right? Just let y'all know. So if you don't want to take it right now, which I understand, this is a weird time, it's out of session, right? I do see that we have this resistance level up here, right? This is where price previously sold. This is where price previously sold from. So I would not be surprised if price made it to this level, right? We might see some sellers kick in. It might bring price back down, but I think this will just end up being another potential retest, right, of this level, and then another potential entry, right? So keep an eye out for how price reacts to this level. We could just fly past the level too. It's also very possible, but just keep in mind, right? Just look to see if we continue this uptrend to the upside. As far as targets, you could probably target previous like resistance levels. So right here could be a target, right here could be a target. If you strongly believe that price is reversing to the upside, then you can target all-time highs, but I would be careful with that. I would just pay attention to what the trend is doing. Pay attention to how the trend is shifting. But yeah, this is a potential shift of structure to the upside. So just watch Nas closely. Let me know what y'all think, on your opinion on Nas. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm watching for. Mainly, I am interested in gold and seeing gold push up, potentially catching a second entry is my main thing I'm watching for. And then GJ, I am interested in seeing if GJ wants to basically break above and then give me a potential push up as well. So, but yeah, those are my current market analysis. Just waiting, being patient, trying not to force a trade. Last week was very choppy, right? I'm hoping for some better price action this week. But yeah, y'all, that's it. I don't want to waste too much of y'all time. I want y'all to go enjoy the markets, right? Have a good, profitable week. Let me know what y'all get into. Until next time, I hope y'all have an amazing, great, blessed day. Bye.